from one generation to the next, it just keeps getting better.
2-generation family literacy stretches across the globe, lifting up families to meet their potential and break the cycle of poverty.
Which one is this? Yep, good job.
It was a new concept to most people to bring parents and children together.
Family literacy and the 4-component model developed by Sharon Darling traces its roots to an adult education class in the basement of a Louisville, Kentucky church.
I came back and opened the door, and there were 5 men in there. And he said, "This is your new teacher." They were so desperate to learn, and they wanted to read, and they talked about the painful experiences that they had every day, by trying to hide the fact that they couldn't read. And so it became something that was very, very important to me.
After volunteering, next up for Sharon was running adult literacy programs across Kentucky and eventually all across the country. Then she came back to Kentucky and focused on Appalachia.
It is a cycle of failure which can reach down through generations. ABC's Bill Blakemore tonight on how to break it.
So that's when I started thinking about how could I get the adults and the children into a situation where they could learn together.
These parents are bringing not only their children to school, but themselves as well.
And so, family literacy was born.
They were 3- and 4-year-old children. They came with their parents. Their parents had a good adult education program, and right next door were their children
You have a good day.
who were in a preschool program.
How many yellows in this one?
Then the crux of the program was when the parents actually came together with their young children.
Meantime, the William R. Keenan Jr. Charitable Trust asked Education Secretary Bill Bennett to point them to a new innovative education program. Bennett recommended a visit to Kentucky.
Here was one of the most rural areas that was one of the most difficult, and yet Sharon, through her ingenuity, was seeing that buses picked up the parents and the children. They were giving breakfasts.
Well, can you believe we're back? I'm so glad you came with me. I started here, and because of the family literacy program, and because I got on the bus, and because I faced my fear and got an education, you guys start here. Your children will start here, and it just keeps improving.
All these living things depend on each other.
It's not about just educating a mother, it's about helping the parent get the skills, the confidence to move on with their lives, but the confidence that they can help their children be successful.
1, 2, 3. Put it go!
As momentum grew, the National Center for Family Literacy, NCFL, was founded in 1989.
There are so many similarities between what was going on with the families in Appalachia and what was going on in the families in the communities in Indian country.
The Bureau of Indian Education worked with NCFL to create Family and Child Education, or FACE.
With the FACE program, I learned parenting skills, goal seeking, what the program can offer me, how it can better me, how it could better my child.
The FACE program was really the most significant the Bureau has ever done. It's the longest lasting initiative in the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
It was magic when Toyota came into the picture.
At Toyota, we're really proud of a nearly 30-year relationship with NCFL. I think it's kind of unprecedented for a company and a nonprofit to have that long of a relationship.
They weren't, let's just write a check. They loaned us executives for a year to put in place management systems so that we could learn all of their problem-solving system and put that throughout our organization.
We like to partner with like-minded organizations like NCFL.
Are we going up or staying the same? Stay the same.
That really want to solve some of the root cause problems in education. In the end, what we've always hoped to achieve in our relationship with NCFL is just to give people the opportunity to succeed.
What they're doing is so extraordinary. They're coming back to school, they're teaching their children by example that education is the most most important thing that can happen to them.
The next stop for what was then known as PACE, Parent and Child Education, was unlocking federal funding.
You know, family literacy is in every piece of legislation that has to do with parents or children in Congress.
Sharon Darling, former school teacher, is president of the National Center for Family Literacy, an organization that spans the nation and reaches thousands of families every single year.
30 years later, NCFL continues to be the voice of family literacy, sharing research, policy briefs, and success stories.
If somebody had told me that I would end up traveling around the country, speaking to large groups of people, doing this work night and day, and going to Congress, going to the White House, and I would have, I think, just gotten in a fetal position and stayed in the closet. You know, it was never my intention to do anything like this. I mean, my intention was to help people learn to read and to help families grow.
I am in awe of this wonderful woman. I would love to know how many people have learned to read as a result of Sharon's work.
Very good.
And even starting my own organization was, you know, that was really the Keenans.
What word do we have now?
Replying.
Yes, replying.
And all we did with Sharon, she had to plan everything. The money just gave her a little head start.
Their belief and their trust in me helped us propel something in the nation that has now served 15 million families across this country.
Please write the word put.
The impact continues to grow with on-site programs, citywide literacy coalitions, and digital classrooms such as Wonderopolis and the National Literacy Directory.
It was a magic formula that she put together. It's still there and it has to be kept going.